This is your time to go ahead and call in for that. The telephone lines are filling up here. We're going to go ahead and take our first call. Let me get caller from area code 469. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from? John from Dallas, what's on your mind?
Kamala is going to be the vice president. And the reason why is because this is going to be a perfect opportunity to test our temperature. Now, the thing is, so many people think that what happened 4 years ago was a one-off, that the 33% drop between Obama and Hillary was just because Obama wasn't running. They are not thinking that it's because we actually do not like her, or we didn't get offered any tangibles. So if we actually do not support Biden, then it's going to prove that this isn't a one-off, that no, we are dead serious about this. And that, if you want to play games, like you say in Louisiana, hey, if you think this game for you, well, come home, come and play, dummy. So like Cully Book said, it's like, let's go ahead and play this. Now, the problem is,
That's what you're gonna have to do. They're really trying to call our bluff right now. They're really just saying, you know what? Whatever it is you niggas want, we ain't gonna do it. That's what they're saying. Whatever it is you niggas want, we're not gonna do it. So if you all are threatening us that you're not gonna show up and vote, we are not gonna sit here and let you run the Democrat Party. So if y'all are gonna stay home, if y'all are gonna stay away, if you all are really going to do nothing, then you go ahead and try it. That's what they're saying now. If you all are, they're daring us to pull the trigger again. They're like, whatever it is you black folks think you gonna do, you go ahead and try it now. Go ahead and try it. We're daring you. We're not gonna back down. Whatever it is you threatening to do to us, you go ahead and just do it. But we're not gonna give up power. You're going to have to come and take it from us. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Brothers and sisters from around the world, power is not given, power is taken. That's what you're gonna have to understand. Power is not given, power is taken. It is taken. You are going to have to take this. They are not going to give us what is due us. We are going to have to take it from them. We're going to have to show them that we're serious, and we're going to have to show them that 2016 and 2018 were not flukes, that this is the new normal. They are daring us, even seeing all of the black people in the streets, even seeing all of the black people demonstrating, even seeing all the black folk who are turned up in the streets right now tonight as we speak. They chose the one candidate that we already rejected because she is too much of a black white supremacist. Of all the people they could have chosen, they chose the one candidate that we most forcefully rejected previously. Do you understand that? But the reason for that is because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are two birds of a feather. Jason, what do you mean by that? You're looking at two former prosecutors. Did you get that? They're both two former prosecutors. So they see themselves as alumni of the court system. These are two former prosecutors with a long history of experience of locking up black people, of using the system to, in the 13th Amendment loopholes, to reinvigorate chattel slavery. So white folk understand, they've seen Kamala Harris's record. White folk were cool on her. It was black folk who had a problem with her. It was black people who had a problem with her, not white folk. The white folk were fine. The white folk were fine. So you got two former prosecutors. You got two people who have enforced draconian laws against specifically targeting black people. You got two people who have stated that their primary agenda when they get into office is LGBT and illegal aliens. Remember, Joe Biden said on day one, it's going to be about LGBT. On day one, it's going to be about illegals. Kamala Harris, same thing. On day one, it's going to be about LGBT and illegals. On day one, it's going to be about the Equality Act. On day one. None of them said they were going to do a damn thing specifically for black people on day one. So our job now is to let you know, oh, it's not going to be a day one. You've reached the end of days. You've reached the end of days. So you got two former prosecutors, two people who have used the law to specifically target black people, two people who have said that on day one in office, their agenda is LGBT and illegals, two people who, when asked about reparations, flat out said no. Back away from me, niggas. The answer is no. I got gays and illegals to see about, not you. So if you want to know what it is, what it is that they're betting on there, now you have a clear idea of exactly why. Call from area code 540. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Jason Black. My name is Paul. I'm from Woodbridge, Virginia.
Paul from Woodbridge, what's on your mind?
Brother, I've been listening to you for several years now. I have Race War. I'm Gentrified is on the way. I have 7 a.m. And at first, I didn't get quick with this. I didn't know what to think of you because there's so many different people out there. But brother, I'm here to tell you, as of now, you have my full support. As you say, Vernon John, look him up, crawled so that Dr. Anderson could walk. Dr. Anderson walked so that this brother who's on the phone, who has done more than enough with the funds and the limited resources that he has to keep us on our feet. I knew at work, I'm like, yo, they're going to pick her, dog. And they're like, oh, no. I'm like, dude, yes, they are. Even Tulsi Gabbard ethered her in the debate. And I'm like, you guys can see this? She said it in a YouTube clip. She's not going to do anything for us. And Joe Biden, as you said, I just put up, real talk, bro, I just put up what you posted about their record. And people are like, oh, well, they're getting there, they're going to change. They're not going to fucking change, excuse my language. And you so-called women out there who Jason Black refers to as hoes, bitches, whatever, that's the only thing I don't agree on him with, mono and mono. That's all I'm going to say on that. But don't you all have kids? Don't you all have sons? Don't you all have daughters? Kamala Harris locked up people just because they're trying to get them to a better school. I got family in Cali. My older brother's born and raised in Oakland. What Jason Black is saying is serious. And don't even wake up. Trump is going to get reelected now. He's laughing at us.
Well, I don't see that as a bad thing because, quite frankly, black people have been more on code, more on their toes, more focused. If we had gotten Hillary Clinton, niggas would be sleeping this day and she'd have a damn jail on every street corner like Circle K's. So to be totally honest with you right now, Trump was really one of the best things that could have happened to us because it forced black people to stop pretending that there's such a thing as a lesser of two evils. Just put them in the fire, put their fat in the fire and just leave them there. This is really what we needed to make niggas get serious. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Folks, they're trying to call our bluff, not because they think they can win. Because you got to understand, Elizabeth Warren wasn't going to galvanize any voters. All the white women, all the soft white supremacists, they're already voting for Biden. So what they're telling you is what they are afraid of. By choosing Kamala Harris, they've let you know, look, I mean, that chick with the Congressional Black Caucus, I don't even remember her name, it don't really matter. Folks, she wasn't viable. Don't nobody know her. Black folk don't know her. Keisha Bottoms, everybody knows the deal in Atlanta. Keisha Bottoms wasn't viable. Keisha Bottoms told you everything was fine in Atlanta, and 2 days later, it blew up in her damn face. Nobody was checking for Keisha Bottoms. Stacey Abrams, please. I told y'all from the beginning, Stacey Abrams, all they're doing is blowing smoke up her big wily ass. Girl, they're not going to give you nothing. You're here to be the carrot on the stick to make folk think that some of the fat hoes got a chance. You ain't got no chance. They trot out a big, jolly, jiggly mammy and then tell you, hey, all you other jiggly mammies, you got a chance too. Don't she look like you? Stacey Abrams, who has done nothing for black people and has never advocated for black people, much less black women. Hell, and I think that was the reason that Andrew Gillum crawled his way out the closet in the last couple weeks. I think that's the reason that Andrew did it. I think Andrew did it because he was telling himself in the back of his mind, you know what? The rest of these niggas ain't viable. Cory Booker has already been beaten. Kamala Harris has already been beaten. Stacey Abrams has already been beaten. Maybe I got the shot. Why didn't he just wait? I really do believe he came out of mothballs because he was telling himself, even if it wasn't realistic, in the back of his mind, hey, maybe there's a lane for me. No, ain't no lane for you. No lane for you. So they chose the only one they really could. Karen Bass is a non-starter. Nobody knows her. Keisha Bottoms hit rock bottom in Atlanta. Stacey Abrams is a punchline. Andrew Gillum is worse than a punchline. He's a comedy routine. He's bizarre. Andrew Gillum is worse than a punchline. He is an abnormality. He's this freak of nature. So they chose the only person that they could. Why? Because they're letting you know, remember people, vice presidential candidates are chosen to shore up an area that they believe that the presidential candidate doesn't have support in. Joe Biden was chosen because he has support in the Northeast. No, Susan Rice, Condoleezza Rice, Uncle Ben's Rice, no, Jerry Rice, none of them niggas got a chance. Forget it. No, they chose Kamala Harris because she was really the only thing going as far as what they felt was capable of being able to talk to black people. Because y'all got to understand, all the mulattoes from the Obama years, niggas is on to that now. You can't trot any of them back out. Y'all need to share this program tonight. Click that red subscribe button. Click that yellow notification bell. We're the black media. We're giving you the real. They can't trot out their mulatto niggas no more. That whole mulatto clique from the Obama years, nobody's going for them. Everybody sees them now. Nobody trusts them. So you can't trot them out. They're not eligible. They're not eligible. You're not going to be able to trot them out and be like, okay, well, let's see what's going to happen. It's not going to occur. So they chose the only one that they could really pick. You can't choose Elizabeth Warren because you already got the white woman vote. That's not where you're hurting. It's the black vote where you're hurting. You couldn't pick Amy Klobuchar, certainly not after the murder of George Floyd and her connection to that. You couldn't choose Amy Klobuchar. You couldn't choose Bernie Sanders. The only black person voting for Bernie Sanders is Killer Mike. You couldn't choose Keisha Bottoms. The only black person voting for her is T.I. So that was it. That was dead in the water. Folks, they picked the nigga that they could, and they're hoping that, and the reason why they waited, now we understand why they waited so long, because he really should have chosen her 2 months ago. But he's waited until 90 days before the damn election because he knows that Black people are going to let out a collective groan. Black people were groaning when they said, oh, hell, not this heifer. We already said no. So he waited until the last minute to spring this on you, hoping that the damage that'll be done by nominating her will be mitigated by the fact you ain't got much time to vote. But they know that Black people as a group let out a collective groan. Kamala Harris already had her shot at the title. The news media already said a year ago, yeah, she lost the Black vote right out of the gate. So why would you bring her back? Because she's the only viable candidate out of this trash heap of bargain basement discount bin used up niggas that they got. That's it. That's it. Period. They don't want to know that. They don't want to know that. So just understand, this is what desperation does. This was the only play that they had. They didn't have another one. There wasn't another play. It was this or nothing. They already war games. Who else you could choose? Nobody else was going to get it done. Nobody. She was the only trusted asset that they have who is still viable. So you don't go, in the words of Donald Rumsfeld, you don't go to war with the army you wish you had. You go to war with the army you got. She is the army that they got. Caller from area code 843. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
TVA, this Tobias out of Phoenix.
Tobias out of Phoenix. What's on your mind, brother?
Man, I had to take a study break for this one. Man, well, I watched this, right? And I looked at Twitter, right? And Facebook. Black folks are caping for her. And it's like, despite her record, they want to keep saying, oh, she's better than Trump. And I'm like, how?
Okay, let's be clear. Let me deal with that first, Tobias. Let me deal with your first point here. Keep your thought, but let me deal with your first point here. Y'all got to understand, people, it's a new day. It's a new day. The internet cheerleaders don't run the yard no more, okay? That very vocal minority of individuals, this is the warmed over church crowd. Niggas talking about they damn sororities and their fraternities as if that impresses the rank and file. It's your sorority niggas from your HBCUs. They live on the internet. They live on Twitter. They live on TikTok. They live on Instagram. So of course this is what Joe Biden was hoping for. Okay, hopefully there'll be enough of them to make it seem like they speak for Black people. No, they don't. They're just a very vocal minority. And they understood this would trigger them and this would mobilize them, but they're very vocal. Problem, you're a vocal minority. Emphasis on the word minority, not vocal. They don't speak for the masses. They don't speak for the group. Brother, if they did, why didn't they save her ass a year ago? If they were really that consequential, explain to me why they didn't save her ass a year ago. If they really matter that much, if they're really that powerful and that influential, where the hell were these niggas a year ago when she needed them? Instead, she's playing second fiddle to Joe Bigot Biden. Where were these niggas? Remember Roland Martin and the rest of them? If they were really on her team like that, if they were really that real about it, why aren't they there with her when she needed them? And I say to you, they were. Folk like you and me, we ain't vocal right now. You know why? Because we already made up our minds. We ain't got to say nothing. We already made up our minds. We've already made our decision. We made our decision a year ago. Now all you're really doing is ticking us off. That's all you're really doing. By bringing her back, didn't we tell you to get this hoe the hell out of here? And you done brought her back? Don't you know? Don't you know right now you're only pissing us off? They get it. They get it. They just want to see how much we're going to take. You know why? Because the civil rights generation taught them that we ain't really serious all the time, that our stamina isn't really that strong. Our commitment is going to waver. And they're trying to see if they can just wear us out. We're just going to keep hitting you with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. And, well, they ain't Trump. And we're going to see what they're for. You have to understand, in white society's mind, as a society, Black people are a caricature. Joe Biden meant, by the way, for those of you who thought that Joe Biden was about how, unlike the Latino vote, Black society isn't diverse. Remember when he said that just last week? So in other words, Black folks is just one big nigga. You're just one cartoon character. So if you thought he was joking about what he meant by that, oh, I didn't mean it like that. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You sure did. Because the civil rights generation don't run the yard anymore, but in their minds, Black people are just one big monolithic mishmash. And we're going to do what the civil rights generation did simply because we're Black. We're not diverse. We're not independent of thought. We're not independent of ideology. We y'all all just the same. All of you are essentially the same. And the tactic that worked on your mothers and fathers and grandmothers and grandfathers, it'll work on you. It'll work on you. That's it. So just understand, brother, that's I want to make that point right quick, that they're doing this because they think we're just the same person.
Yeah, man, you're right. Yeah, one thing you speak at me thinking, when people talk about Kamala Harris, her prosecutorial record, I hope I said that word right or close enough. Yeah, she prosecutes a lot of Black people, but what people harp on is who she failed to prosecute and go after. Steve Mnuchin in her area was all those predatory loans. She didn't prosecute him. She didn't go after him. And yeah, he gave her money, her campaign, the only Democrat he donated to, and he's the head of the U.S. Treasury now under Trump. She could prosecute Black folks whose kids skip school. And you know this, Jason, we coming up in the South. We be on the bus stop for our parents, even going to work or vice versa. These kids just walk home after the parents go to work. How's that the parents' fault? But yeah, she'll prosecute them, but won't go after Steve Mnuchin with those predatory home loans, which hurt a lot of Black families in that Bay Area in California. All I hear about these sororities, Black Greek organizations are the biggest waste ever. I've yet to see a Black Greek sorority or fraternity get somebody a job, get somebody a connection, who's a mover and shaker. I've yet to see it. And then Kamala Harris, when did she ever say she was Black? She always lived and governed as an Indian woman. And she claiming Black now because no, they'll get the Black vote. Because too many Black folks out here are saying, oh, we don't want Trump. We got to get Trump out. White people were the one who put Trump in office. Latinos put him in. Asians put him in. Black folks voted for the Democrat more than any other group. But yet, they let these Democrats who need the Black vote to get in the office, who are so arrogant, who think they're getting our vote anyway, that they still won't speak to what we need.
Well, the previous generations taught them they could get away with it. If the previous generations hadn't given them 100 years of you can ignore us, they wouldn't be testing us. But just understand, they know they're not going to hand over power to us. So every election now is going to be about testing us. That's what it's going to be about. I'll let you have the last word.
Hey, can I say this real? Yeah, I'll say this real quick. And they keep talking about Trump. Look, I didn't vote for Trump last time, and I'm not going to vote for him. But the thing that Black folks are missing, Trump is fighting for his base. He has done what he said he's going to do. So those things right there, racist or not, if you voted for him, you are actually saying, wait, he lived those campaign promises. We don't even get a campaign promise, Jason. All we get is, well, we don't want to get put in chains. or you don't want to get killed in the streets by the Republicans, or the Democrat wrote the crime bill, and we got black children that got killed with impunity by police officers under Democratic president who don't speak to our issues but speak to everyone else. Because I say this real quick. I keep tired of black folks saying, oh, they ain't the president of politicians of all black folks, but they set policy for these other groups and stop telling us to worry about local elections so you can make excuses for the federal guys not doing anything because your local take their cues from the federal. Hey, thanks for taking my call, Jason.
Thank you very much for giving this call tonight. Tobias, let me get calling from area code 330. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Robert Ford from Akron, Ohio.
Robert from Akron, what's on your mind?
So I've been voting ever since '96, and I predicted every election to be true, including the ones with Bush. And I lost last one because I didn't vote for Trump or Hillary. I voted Libertarian Gary Johnson, and I don't know. I think this was a bad move. And I agree with everything you said. I do think that they kind of did this to spite blacks. And I also agree they didn't have any other choice. But I think Trump is going to win this election. I don't think any other race of women other than black are going to support this particular ticket. I don't think that other races, it may be a handful, but I think if there were any white liberals, I don't really see them voting for Biden and Harris, but if they do happen to win, I don't think that the people that voted for them are going to get the results they wanted. And speaking specifically about black women, it's going to be a lot of shady stuff going on, and they'll probably make excuses for that. They do a lot of other things.
They are going to make excuses, but right now, this is about testing us as a group. This is about testing us to see, are we really serious about this? Are we really willing to pull the trigger and just stay home? And they are betting against betting, that ain't going to happen. And even if it does, we would, if the Democratic Party has to go down in flames, we'll just accept that. That's what they're saying. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Brothers and sisters, what they're saying here is that it's win or bust. It's win or bust. If we can't control the black vote and give you nothing, then we'll let the party go down. We'll let the party go down in flames. If that's the cost of not conceding to your demands, we'll go ahead and do that. If that's what it takes, we're willing to sacrifice that. Brothers and sisters, they're letting you know we're willing to sacrifice the entire Democratic Party to deny giving black people what we're doing for everybody else. And you know what I say? That's good. You willing to watch your house burn down? Well, I'm willing to light it up. I'm willing to light it up. I'm totally willing to light your ass up. We're not going to play this same old game with you. And the other thing I want you all to understand is watch. My next prediction is if the Democrats lose this election, watch as they begin tapering more white supremacists. Watch as the anti-black rhetoric or the anti-black maneuvers ramp up. You've seen it in recent weeks, everybody from the Supreme Court to the Department of the Interior. They're going to start trying to bolster everybody else. Let's get them 11 million illegals in here, the gay vote. All of a sudden, they're not going to be fighting for black disenfranchised voters. What's the point of fighting to get black folk to vote if they're not going to vote for you because you're not doing anything for them? What's the point of fighting for these, quote, disenfranchised black voters if they're not going to vote for you? So what I'm telling you is take a look at their calculus of the issue. In their calculus of the issue, we'll risk it. We'll risk it. We're willing to play this game of chicken. Caller from area code 920. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, my name is John. I'm out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. I've been listening to you for quite a while, brother, and I think you're on point with a lot of stuff that you say. I think you're right that they're trying to call our bluff blatantly. I think it's a blatant disregard for our feelings, and I think that Kamala Harris, I call her Chameleon Harris, because she changes races every time she gets in a specific group. I think that Kamala is trying to think that she can rule the black people, and I think that those of lower IQ, she probably will succeed, but I don't think that she'll be able to succeed, and I do think that it's a losing ticket. I also want to believe that, in fact, because I was a person that was a direct recipient of the 1984 crime bill, meaning that I did some time because of that. And I knew some things that she had did later in the 90s and stuff in California when I was living out in Long Beach in specific cases. I can't delineate them. I've since gone to law school and I've got a law degree, so I practice a little advocacy practice here in Wisconsin and Green Bay. I think that you're on point when it says, that, and I listen to the key codifications when they talk about, I like how they say whenever they mention her name, notice they always say she has a proven track record, but yet she is the youngest Senate or Congress member, a Senate member that is in the House right now. She has no experience under 2 years, but yet she has a proven track record. And I believe that it came down to them just not having a choice, like you said and alluded to earlier. And I believe that they chose her blatantly to disrespect us. And I believe that she's trying to rule any other color that's light skinned, and I call them trans blacks, people who are just pretending to be black for the moment.
Well, I mean, when they say a proven track record of what? That's the problem. When they keep saying proven track record, but don't say what the true track record is.
No, that track record is proven that she's, I call her an ambition prostitute, because she'll do anything, whatever it takes. She's even said that out of her own mouth on a lot of broadcasters I've heard. I'll do whatever it takes for Joe Biden. And I do believe that that picture you showed of them face to face is a clear depiction of what she's willing to do. And I find it funny what you said about the hotel room, because I do believe that was true.
Oh yeah, brother. I mean, I'm not joking. Well, let's be very, very clear. I'm not joking. Now I went back. You all can go and check and over my Twitter. Yeah. As a matter of fact, if you all remember when Monique Presley started going at me, because remember I originally said that, did you have a problem with the fact that Kamala Harris slept her way to a job with Willie Brown and was probably giving her job over more qualified people, but because she was willing to sleep with the damn mayor, she was able to get jobs and positions that other women who wouldn't sleep with Willie Brown's grimy little ass couldn't get. And Monique Presley said, no, as a matter of fact, you're the hater. That was what Monique Presley told me. So you all can go back over my Twitter and go take a look at that. So, brother, it's no secret. It's an open secret, but it's no real secret. We know the get down. When I say that this is what she would do, I'm not joking. I am not joking. She's like, that's a small price. As far as she's concerned, I got better goods than Bill Clinton. That's a small price to pay in order to get up in office. I mean, right now, take a look at it. Do you think she's ashamed that she had to sit up here and do all these tricks? She is currently, at least potentially, a stone's throw away now from being the first so-called black vice president, which you ain't, and which puts her a stone's throw away from being president. As far as she's concerned, it was all worth it if she can get this far.
I agree with you 100%, brother. I commend you on your work. Keep doing a great job. And thanks for speaking about Oprah Winfrey. I was the one that made the comment on your YouTube about tell the truth, shame the devil about Oprah. I think you on point, brother. Keep doing the great job you're doing.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 803. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from? Okay, caller from area code 803 has been abducted. Caller from area code 804. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason Black. This is Kendall.
Kendall, where are you calling from?
Richmond, Virginia.
Kendall from Richmond, Virginia. What's on your mind?
Richmond, Virginia. Yes, Jason, love your other channel. I have my little grandson listening to you. A little hardcore for him, but I let him listen. What I want to say is, I talked to my wife and my mother, and they're just big Democrat voters, and they don't understand the political background of any of the opponents. Do you know about these guys? And they don't. It's a Democrat. We need Trump out. And that just messes with my mind. You don't have no background. I'm going, Biden is just as bad as Trump. And they're going, no, we just need Trump out.
Yeah, but but the old desperate, those old desperate dumb niggas who blindly vote Democrat, these unintelligent, uninspired, anti-intellectual Negroes who simply vote because it's a Democrat. They're unsophisticated, unintelligent, and they just vote Democrat without thinking. The day of the blind voting black person, that's wrapping up. Thank you very much for giving us a call. We're wrapping up the days of the unintelligent, unsophisticated, blind voter. You just vote because your mama, when she was working the track, or your daddy, when he was running guns or running rum, voted Democrat. No, we're not doing that. We're not voting because it's the family tradition. We are voting what is in our best interests. That's what we're going to be doing. Caller from area code 818. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Jimmy from San Diego. Brother Jason, how you doing?
Jimmy from San Diego. What's on your mind?
You know, we spoke about Kamala Harris being the obvious choice. And lo and behold, for 48 hours later, she's the choice. Before I get to excoriating her on all of her horrible record out here in California, please explain to me, Jason, how in the hell is Kamala Hills up here going to help Joe Biden get that white supremacist vote up there in Michigan where they're walking around on Gretchen Whitmer's backyard with their guns? How is that going to help them?
Joe Biden's going to get that vote because the white supremacists understand who Joe Biden is. They know about Biden's law. They know who he is. You got to understand. It's code speak for them. They know who Biden is. They know the get down. They know the deal. They're under no illusions about who he really is. So that's why he doesn't have to campaign for them. Kamala Harris is here to get the black vote. But they also understand that white folks see her as a prosecutor. So they know at the end of the day, they got her number. And they know that. So that's the real issue there. They know they got their number. So they're hoping that the calculus holds up, and they're hoping that it holds out for them. That's all they're doing. If they don't have a better option, they got to go with her because they don't have a better option. Okay, your phone is digitized and gone out on you there, brother. But thank you very much for giving us a call. Let me get caller from area code 773. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason, this Taran from Chicago, Illinois.
Taran from Chicago. What's on your mind?
I saw the bill. What's on my mind, brother? She don't got a snowball chance in hell to win. She's a Sambo ass nigga. Not only that, I saw the sign you put up here in Chicago on 43rd and Wentworth. I saw it, took a picture of it, and I'm sending it all over the world. Also, brother, getting back to that sign, that's a great job. But I guess I'll talk to you in your next program. But anywho, she doesn't have a snowball chance in hell. Neither one of them. Trump's going to win again, and I have no problem with Trump. Okay, that's my opinion. I'm gonna stick with it. So therefore, brother Jason, keep doing what you're doing, brother. And if you ever need me, brother, I'm here in Chicago, and I'm here. I'm ready. I'm ready to get on the battle lines with you, bro. Because everything you say is on point.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight, Taran. Please do give us a call again. Let me get a caller from area code 501. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Jason, this is Paul from Fayetteville, Arkansas. I appreciate your show. You have a terrific point of view. You're very well spoken and excellent in how you articulate your ideas. One thing I wanted to talk about, with Kamala Harris being picked as Vice President today, and others calling you to your show, which I wrote notes about because I've been listening for about 30, 40 minutes now. I understand you're very, very busy. Donald Trump led to the lowest black unemployment in American history in December of 2019. It was around 6%, right? He historically funded HBCUs, which Kamala Harris graduated from. right? Even though her dad in Jamaica said that her family is descendant of slave owners in Jamaica. He funded HBCUs by almost $112 million more than any previous president. Democrats were elected in 2018 in the sweep of the House of Representatives and let the bill fall by the wayside. They never come to a bipartisan agreement.
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem. What
Yeah.
you're saying, Donald Trump is no friend to black people. Donald Trump is a card-carrying white supremacist. Donald Trump has not really done anything for us. Anybody can point to any president and point to some symbolic gesture. Mm-hmm. Giving money to the HBCUs is a symbolic gesture. For somebody to talk about the HBCUs as if we're talking about Harvard. We're not talking about Harvard. We're talking about Spelman and Morehouse. These are places where they can't even keep the water on. So, I mean, hell, Jeff Bezos' wife just gave $100 million to the HBCUs. If the HBCUs were really effective, okay, stop for a moment. If the HBCUs were really effective, they would have shut them down a long damn time ago, or they would be doing a hell of a lot more than they are. So that doesn't really change the calculus where Trump is concerned. Black folk are in the exact same position that we have been in. Our position under Trump has not changed. The unemployment rate for us is still 10 times what it is for everybody else. The wealth gap for us has not shrunken. The wealth gap for us is right where it has been. Sir, if you don't stop lying on my phone, sir, we're not going to argue over this. Sir, you're not going to get on my phone and lie. Sir, you're not going to get on the phone and lie, sir. Sir, when you white supremacists call up to my program, you all got to understand, we are not going to fall for that. Okay? So please take your MAGA hat somewhere else. We're not going to fall for that. We are a congenial bunch, but please, to the white folk out there, you're not going to convince us that Donald Trump is good for black folk. It's not going to happen that way. I've been nice. I've been polite. I knew from the very beginning, I'm like, okay, the mayonnaise militia has shown up to see if they can tell all of us, yeah, y'all need to vote for Trump. No, we don't need to vote for him either. No, we don't. Yes, I know he's calling from Fayetteville, Arkansas, hardcore redneck country. Well, maybe he's with his MAGA hat. They try to get too slick by half. They try to get too smart by half. So this mayonnaise minister calls up to my program to bring us the gospel of Donald Trump. And you saw what happened when I said, well, Donald Trump's just a white supremacist and these are symbolic gestures. Oh, no, it ain't symbolic. Take a look at the unemployment rate. That's that Fox News talk. Over there on Fox News, they think that anybody who doesn't bow and scrape to the Democrats, that, oh, why, you're a potential Republican. They think if you don't bow and scrape to the Democrats, that you're Herman Cain. That's in their minds. So you got the Democrats who think everybody's a member of the civil rights generation, and you got the Republicans who think all black people are a potential Herman Cain. And both of them are dead ass wrong. I'm not going to follow in the footsteps of the civil rights generation, and I'm not trying to be Herman Cain either. I am going to vote in black people's best interests. But don't sit up here and try to sell Donald Trump as some radical change. And once I said that the black wealth gap with white folk is exactly where it's been, oh, no, it ain't. When somebody pulls that one, okay, now you know what you're dealing with. That's not even under dispute. That's not even up for debate. Oh, no, the black wealth gap is fine. That's that Sean Hannity talking points. Why black people are gaining ground. Black people are doing better under Trump. They're gaining ground. Why black folks, the wealth gap is closing. You keep voting for Trump and things will be good for you. You can't show me a damn place in the country where black people are progressing or prospering. But as soon as I talk about the wealth gap, no, that wealth gap is fine. Unemployment's going down. Wealth gap is good. You Fox News people, you all need to get off the meth. Put oxycodone bottles that you smuggled from the pharmacist. Y'all need to get off that bull crap And there's another thing. When black folk are talking, y'all need to shut the hell up. See, the problem is when white folk come into the arena, they want to tell us what to think. They want to tell us what to think. They want to tell us what to believe. They want to tell us that it ain't really midnight. It's not really dark in the room. You're not really being beaten. You're not really being shot. You're not really oppressed. You're not really disadvantaged. You're not really being starved of resources. That ain't really happening. That's not really occurring to you. You just think it is. No, no, no. You don't understand. That's not really happening to you. You just think it is. No, your unemployment rate has really dropped by half. You're really doing great. The wealth gap, no, it's doing great. As if we ain't walking around out here in the streets. Understand, the Democrats and Republicans are all liars. Their job is to lie to us, and they're just hoping. See, you all gotta understand, that guy, I'm assuming he wasn't paid for by Fox News, but white supremacy is on code. They're on code. So they figure, hey, if you see a group of black folk who are saying that they're not going to vote Democrat, well, those are prime Republican voters. In other words, we don't think for ourselves. We don't think for ourselves. And he ran into a group of black folk who do. In the chat room, if you are one, be one. Let me get calling from area code 650. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, I'm Constance. I'm calling from Redwood City.
Okay, River City where?
No, Redwood City, California.
All right, River City, California. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so I was just calling because when I look at the picture that you showed, I look at it and see that she's looking at him, just picturing him dying or going completely where he can't think again. She gets the presidency. He might be looking at her a different way, but the way she's looking at him is like, I'm glad you trust me. That's how I see it.
Okay.
Because she's just thinking about herself.
Constance, how old are you?
20.
You're 20 years old.
Yes.
Baby, you sound like no offense, you sound like a very mature, weathered 20. So if you are 20 years old, you done seen a lot.
Is that good or no?
Oh, I don't know how many kids you got, how many stretch marks, I don't know. But baby, you sound like a weathered 20. So you sound like you done seen the trials and tribulations of many years. So I'm very glad you made it this far.
Okay, I voted for Obama, and when I stood in the kitchen,
wait a second.
Said, you know what I
wait
said
a second.
Do?
Wait, you said you voted for Obama. Obama's last time running for office was 8 years ago. You would have been 12 years old. You just said you were 20. You would have been 8 years old, 12 years old to vote for Obama. Baby, are you on the pipe?
Yes.
Okay, well, in that case, then let me let you get back to hitting it because, we don't have time for that right there. Caller from area code 206. Hopefully you ain't on the pipe. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name's Andrew Johnson. I'm calling from Virginia. I wanted to.
Where at in Virginia?
Short, limited time. I'm Fairfax, Virginia. Sir.
Fairfax, Virginia. What's on your mind?
I've been listening to your show for a while. That's how I found out Kamala Harris was Willie Brown's side piece. And I'm 31 years old. And like I said, I've been listening to you for a while. Your political influence is the reason why I ran for mayor in Stockton. I lost, but I felt like the person who was in power was a coon, and they didn't have any resources for Black people. I understand that the conversation is Kamala Harris, but for 1 second, I just kind of want to step aside from that distraction. You called it. You already told us that she would lose last year.
Well, we want to stay focused on the events at hand right now is what we want to stay focused on. Okay. So thank you very much for giving us a call, but we really need to stay focused on this tonight. Let me get caller from area code 954. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Rondé from Hawaii. Aloha, family.
Rondé from Hawaii. What's on your mind?
Scrutinization. Yes, sir. First of all, them sisters gave us a black eye. Black girls rocked when they were going for Hillary Clinton back then. I could not believe all the mothers of those murdered children by these Gestapo cops in this country. These fools actually wanted to support Hillary Clinton. Secondly, voting. If we don't have any kind of probationary type of system where these jackasses, if they cannot perform within 6 to 12-month period, they need to be ousted, fired, leave the duty, whatever have you. You know, no telling what Harold Washington would have done if he had lived long. Adam Clayton Powell just stepped up to the plate. Chokwe Lumumba Sr. in Mississippi stepped up to the plate. So our voting doesn't mean nothing. And if we don't vote, so what? We still have other realities to tend to and focus on, which can enable us and help uplift us. We've been through all kinds of atrocities. Every goddamn war we fought in this country. And these brothers still coming back from World War II that are still alive. I'm from Nam. And man, this ain't gonna happen, man. So whether we vote for these clowns or not is neither here nor there. We know what needs to be done. So we need to get off this, if you don't vote, you got no right to complain. No, you voted. You got no right to complain because you didn't get what you want. And we can't see through this. What do we expect?
Or, you know, brother, here's the real thing.
Anyway,
I don't want to hear from anybody talking about if you don't vote, you don't have the right to complain or this, that, and the other, because the niggas who voted can't show us what the results. They can't show us any wins. They can't show us any progress. So, nigga, if your vote was really so captivating and so effective, show me the effectiveness of it. Show us your wins. Show us the progress you made with that vote using your method. So I'm not going to sit here and congratulate anybody for a tactic that has failed. These are failed strategies that they're suggesting to us and trying to popularize failed strategies and getting mad we're not falling for it. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. I'm going to try to get through a few more calls here. So everybody, please keep your comments brief. I know you've been on hold for a while, but keep it brief for us here. I want to try to get to as many people as I can. Let me get caller from area code 818. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you're calling from?
Calvin Angel calling from Monterey, California.
Calvin from Monterey, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm calling to address what someone said earlier about how Trump is the reason that we should be out there voting because we need to get him out of office. That to me, that's debunked. I think it is Trump, not Trump, who motivated us to want to make any kind of change. I believe it was actually about 8 years of Obama that really changed our perspective and kind of woke up the community. Because it was really those 8 years that said, hey,
this has been a process. This has been a process. It is something that began really before Obama. It began before then. And it started building. And what they were hoping was that they knew that we saw Obama for who he was. Okay. They knew that. What they were wanting to see was, were we going to do like we've done previously? We saw him for what he was. We saw it was the trick bag. But were we going to just complain and say, man, this is messed up? Maybe the next time we go back out there, we'll get somebody who's going to be real. Because if we stick by that pathology, that the next time we go out there, it'll hopefully be a black candidate who, quote, gonna keep it real this time. The Democrats are gonna do what they just did in the last election. Yeah, Obama didn't do everything he should have. Let's just bring you a better black candidate. And here's Cory Booker. And it's okay. Then you sit up here, well, let's bring you another. Oh, you don't like Cory Booker? Here's Kamala Harris. And you see how that goes. So as long as we keep sticking by that pathology, they're going to keep bringing us puppet candidate after puppet candidate. What we need to do is stick by not candidates, not personalities, but an agenda. And so long as we do that, we're going to start seeing results. But the reason that they're scared like they are right now, and worried like they are right now, and trembling like they are right now, and going for a desperate Hail Mary play, like grabbing Kamala Harris, because you don't have any other options. The reason that they're doing this is because we've shown them that this time is different. So yeah, over the course of the last decade, black people have had enough, and you're not going to sit up here and hold out a token candidate who will not express our issues. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. They understand. They're just waiting to see. Are y'all really going to crash the car? That's what they want to know. Are you really going to do that? Because they ain't got nowhere else to be. Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, I've taught you all. These are jackets that they put on. If it serves them in one election, they put on the conservative jacket. If it serves them in another, they put on the liberal jacket. If it serves them in another election, they're a Democrat. Another election, they're a Republican. Another election, they're independent. These are jackets that they put on, but these jackets don't mean the same thing to Black people that they mean in white society. The great con job is convincing us that it means the same thing to us that it means to them, and no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. These things don't mean the same thing. Let me get caller from area code 609. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Emmanuel from Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Emmanuel from Atlantic City, what's on your mind?
I want to know, what are we going to do when these people finally step up their game and try to use physical force to denounce everything that we're trying to change in the society?
They're already doing that. They're already doing that, brother. They're already doing that. They're already doing that. So you say, what's going to happen then? What's happening right now?
Are we going to just sit here and burn this whole place down? Because honestly, I feel as if there's no way of reasoning with these people, and I don't really want to sit here and destroy things. But to be honest with you, it's just like that's the point where I'm at, where it's just like these people are just denying us reality, and they're trying to use guns and fear to intimidate us and keep us oppressed. So I don't know if that's the movement. Where should we all rally when this thing pops off?
Maybe you rally where you are, brother, around the country. We didn't all have to go to Minneapolis. We didn't all have to go to Baltimore. We didn't all have to go to Atlanta. We didn't all have to go to Chicago. We didn't all have to go. They turning up in Chicago tonight because the police just shot another brother up there. We don't all have to go up to Chicago. So you say, where do you rally? You rally right where the hell you at. That's what you do. But don't worry about what they're doing. You're supposed to be ready for anything and everything. They've already been shooting us. They already were pulling guns on us. They're just pulling more guns on us. They were already marching against us. They're just marching more people against us. The only thing they want to see is what are we going to do in response? But the marching isn't coming. The shock troops aren't coming. The riot police aren't on their way. The riot police are already here. Nigga, what you gonna do is the only question. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a call from area code 206. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, my name is Thomas. I'm calling from Plano, Texas. How you doing?
Thomas from Plano, my old stomping grounds. What's on your mind?
Hey, man, just a quick one. Can you imagine Jews and the survivors of the Holocaust flying Adolf Eichmann in on the first-class flight, cheering him on from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, and making him prime minister of Israel?
Oh,
what
no.
kind of nonsense is this?
I'll give you a better example.
Yeah, can you imagine?
I'll give you a better example. Let me give you a better example. For my history buffs out there, could you imagine more the Jewish people would be on Twitter cheering, talking about their sorority or their college when Mordecai Rumkowski was just nominated as your vice presidential candidate? Now, for those of you who don't know your World War II history, Mordecai Rumkowski was part of one of the greatest crimes of Jewish on Jewish crime in history in the town of Lodz, L-O-D-Z. For those of you who know your World War II history, the Nazis told him, hand us your children and we won't kill the rest of you. He was part of that religious rabbi establishment who gave the famous speech, give us your children. And he convinced the people to give them the kids. They handed off the kids, they killed them, and then came back for the rest of them. And then came back for the rest of them. They sent in a Jew to go and sell out the other Jews. But then again, that was very common. I told you all about this before. If you go see that History Channel series, I think you can get on DVD on Amazon, as a matter of fact, The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich, which I consider to be right up there with the American Experiences, Malcolm X Make It Plain in its comprehensiveness. When the first part about the rise of the Third Reich, they went in depth about influential Jews in Germany who were talking about how Hitler's not a threat and he ain't a problem and y'all just go about your business, and the movie theaters are still open, the trains are still running, you can still go anywhere in town you want to go. These were your Jewish newspaper writers. They weren't the resistance. The Jewish newspaper writers were telling their people everything's fine. Sound familiar? Roland Martin, Joy Reid, Don Lemon, everything's fine. They told them everything's all right. Everything's good. Yeah, I mean, there's been some things we don't like here and there, but you know, it's just another day. So if you really want a real apples to apples comparison, I would tell you, look at Kamala Harris. Another point you're trying to make about Joe Biden, but I would tell you, look at Kamala Harris, and she is comparable to Mordecai Rumkowski, is what's going on right now.
No, I understand. Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, we need to think about that in terms of going after the chief architect of mass incarceration. No, his scalp, the political equivalent of his scalp, just as the execution of Eichmann fortified Jewish resolve for generations. We need a victory here. And Joe Biden's head, I would love to hear children in 2056 saying, no matter what happens, we got that bastard in 2020.
Well, you know, I mean, look, they're going to keep rearing their head. They're going to keep rearing their heads, because the real thing is, yeah, we can get Biden this time, but the real thing is, yeah, we got to get Biden, that's for certain, but we also have to make sure that whatever we do, we forward our agenda, because they're just going to come back with another one. Remember, they lost in 2016. Did they get a young white person who at least could do the, hey, brothers and sisters talk, you know, and talk about his favorite rappers? No, they went from Hillary Clinton, one of the old guard who supported three strikes, and they come back 4 years later and get Joe Biden of the older guard, who was the writer of three strikes.
But Joe Biden is the architect of three strikes. So make sure that he doesn't consolidate that carceral legacy. We got to keep him out.
Well, I mean,
if Trump wins re-election,
the problem is three strikes is already the law of the land. I mean, there's the real problem. Yeah. So that would be symbolic. That would really be symbolic. What we got to understand is, stomping them out, we can't just go after figureheads. It is the ideology, the underlying ideology, where we accept Black people's issues being placed second. That's the real thing, because you could keep three strikes in place so long as the government adopts a Black agenda of reparations. Three strikes could actually stay in place. What good is a law that nobody's going to use? So I think about it. I'm not saying literally leave it in place. I'm saying philosophically speaking, you can leave it in place as long as it's not used. Black people who are prosperous, it becomes ineffective at that point. But I don't want us to get confused with the figureheads. Yeah, we don't want Joe to win for certain reasons. But by the same token, just remember, he's just one. They're going to cycle through. I mean, they got a conveyor belt of candidates who will choose and support the ideology. And that's where we really got to go after. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. Let me get a caller from area code 214. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, Jason. Go lightly.
Hello, Go Lightly. Well, we haven't heard from you in a while.
I've been busy making money.
Oh, I thought you were busy. I thought you were busy trying to drive by my house. What's on your mind?
You know I can show up.
Well, I thought that must have been somebody else's Honda Accord I saw go by. So I'm sorry, Hyundai Accent. That must have been somebody else's Hyundai Accent go by. Oh, anyway, what's on your mind?
Driving Hyundai Accent. But as the moderator said, keep it short, brief, to the point. You made a very good point. And you just said something about, the young white guy, hey, brothers and sisters, like that type of, that 90s, I like 90s hip hop spiel. That type of person who can connect, quote unquote, to, the young vote, specifically the young Black vote, specifically the young Black male vote, that will be Gavin Newsom.
No.
You kind of mentioned they've given this up. You don't think so?
Hell no.
2024?
Hell to the no.
You don't think they're going to prop him up?
No, then no, dear. So you see, here's the problem. Y'all got to understand all these folk from these big cities, black folk, California is like an island, and so is New York. So you got California one end of the country, New York and the other. And the problem is people in California and New York tend to think that they are indicative of the rest of the country, and they're not. Michael Bloomberg was a big deal in New York. He got knocked out of the race literally in 2 weeks. Gavin Newsom, the only place in America where Gavin Newsom could be elected is California. You literally move him to any other place in America, and he couldn't be elected ice cream catcher, dog catcher. I'm sorry, ice cream salesman, dog catcher, or nursery attendant. So no, that only plays in those places. That doesn't play anywhere else. I know California gets a lot of news time because it's California. New York gets a lot too. Who was the last candidate you saw come from any of those places? The guy in the White House right now, and that's only because he doesn't strike the rest of the country as being one of those type of people. So no, Newsom, the only place he plays is in California. You march him out anywhere, and he's DOA.
Okay, touche, Jason Black. Touche. I'll hang up now.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Please call and nothing else. No house calls, please. It's not without prior appointment. Caller from area code 703. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Jason. This is Claude from Fairfax, Virginia.
Claude from Fairfax, Virginia. What's on your mind?
I basically don't have pretty much to say because you touched on a lot of points. But what I do want to say is that I think it's important for Black people to know that it's okay to be pro-Black. It's okay to think for oneself, for one's race. And we think of that as some form of anti-American or basically as a form of upsetting master, which I think majority of us tend not to do and what we shy away from. So I just invite people to just be comfortable in thinking pro-Black in your everyday activities, and it's for our own psychological well-being, if nothing else.
Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. Let me get a caller from area code 701. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Arbor calling from Fargo.
Hello, Arbor from Fargo. What's on your mind?
Fargo. I'm basically calling because I just want to hit on the point that, I mean, we have become, just looking at everything, we are entirely too childish minded and just ridiculously lost in the past when it comes to how emotional we are in regards to voting. Everybody's so happy that he chose Kamala, and that just goes to show that so many of our people do not know what they think they know in regards to politics. I mean, we live in a world now where you have Google at your fingertips, where you can literally, do your own research, look up your different candidates, and you have people that are sitting there happy thinking that this is a huge win, when in all actuality, it honestly is not, if you know anything about politics, because you're going to have a majority of our people who know Kamala's past. Then you got a large, and they're gonna judge her off of that. Then you got a large majority of people that, just last week, Biden, he just can't shut up. He can't shut up at all. And then we are at the same time the type of people that will sit up and say, Trump has, diarrhea of the mouth and he says anything. Well, they have to understand that there's pretty much two of the same kind, just two different people on supposedly two different, political parties.
Well, he chose Kamala, though, because he knows she's a political whore. And some people say literal. Exactly. He knows that he knows she's going to say whatever it takes to get out of that Senate seat. She's going to say whatever it takes. So the bottom line is, this is the direction they were going to go in here. You're dealing with the same guy. And right now you're dealing with a honeymoon period. And I want to explain what that means. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Right now it's the honeymoon period, but y'all understand the honeymoon is going to be real short. Biden, this is what always happens whenever you choose your vice presidential candidate. There's always a pop. there's always this, because it makes news, whoever it is. So there's always going to be this pop in the ratings, this pop in the polls. You're going to get this temporary bump in the polls when you choose your vice presidential candidates. That's not, John McCain got one when he chose Sarah Palin. How'd that turn out? How'd that turn out? So I'm just saying, folks, that's the kind of thing that you're going to run into. That's the kind of thing that you're going to see. You're going to see people who are going to sit here and try to convince you, oh, well, this is what people are really riding on right now. And the reality is this is to be expected. Now, the real question is, when the honeymoon is over in a couple of days, when the honeymoon is over, and black folk, when the cheerleaders die down and folk clear them out, and folks start saying, we didn't like you last time, Kamala. Remember that bull jive you said to us before? When we start bringing back up, you think I'm going to do something just for black people? No! Tulsi Gabbard is still circling around out there like a vulture. Nancy Pelosi, and you all remember what I told you about Nancy Pelosi and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Oh, it still applies. If Kamala Harris becomes vice president of the United States, she becomes the most powerful woman in the American government. Nancy Pelosi didn't want to see Hillary Clinton win for just that reason. Because right now, Nancy Pelosi, for the last decade, has been the most powerful woman in the United States government. And the only person who could be more powerful than her is a president or vice president. So don't expect Nancy Pelosi to do Kamala Harris any favors. She's going to, y'all watch, mark my words, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi is going to sit back quiet. She is going to be quiet. She isn't going to help Kamala Harris do anything. She's just going to sit back quiet, and she might not try to stop you from winning, but she might not help you lose, but she's not going to help you win either. She's not going to help you win either. Do you really think she wants Kamala Harris telling her, calling the shots? You saw what happened with Alexandria. Alexandria didn't say nothing about Nancy Pelosi, and Nancy went on 60 Minutes to make sure she let that little heifer know the pecking order. Oh, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's like the leader of like 6 people. Nancy Pelosi let it be known, I'm the big dog. Alexandria, please, she's the sideshow. She's the leader of like 5 people. Please, don't make me laugh. So you all just understand, when the honeymoon is over in a couple of days and people start bringing up Kamala Harris's record, when the news media doesn't want to talk about her being a prosecutor, we gonna talk about it. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if a billboard shows up somewhere where she wouldn't want it to show up. I don't know. Wouldn't be surprised if one shows up, though. Just saying. But when the honeymoon is over and people say, okay, we seen you before and we didn't like you last time. What do you think's going to happen, people, when people get back to seriously discussing her record, seriously discussing her torrid past and all the things she did to get where she is? Have you really thought about that? When people start saying, ain't you Asian? Didn't you tell us you were Asian? And oh yeah, by the way, when we start hammering Kamala Harris, what kind of stupid stuff do you expect to come fumbling out of Joe Biden's mouth when we do that? You saw what happened. If you're wondering if you should vote for me, you ain't black. If you're wondering if you should vote for me or Trump, you ain't black. Can you imagine Latinos, unlike black folk, they are diverse people. Can you imagine what he's going to say when you start hammering him about Kamala Harris? When he has to speak off the top of the dome, when he's got to go freestyle, can you imagine some of what's going to come out of his mouth? Please. Caller from area code 321. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello?
Yes, you're on live. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, my name is Nick. I'm from Orlando. I definitely agree with you with Kamala. I'm with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. I think they're both white supremacists like Donald Trump. I was wondering how you feel about voting for the Green Party this coming this election. I know you had the guy that was in race war. He was part of the Green Party. I was wondering if that's a viable option for Black people.
Vote for whatever party, whatever candidate is promoting a Black agenda. That's who you vote for. Jason, who should we vote for this election? The same thing I've told you all for a decade. Niggas used to be dumb and didn't understand it. Now I think they're starting to get it. Who do you vote for in this election? The same one you vote for in every election. You vote, which candidate do you vote for? You vote for Black empowerment. That's who you vote for. If the candidate is running on a Black empowerment agenda, you vote for him or her. If they are not, you leave them alone. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 346. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, my name Oscar Ray. I'm calling from Richmond, Texas.
Okay, Oscar, speak up into your phone a little bit here. Calling from Richmond, Texas. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. I would just like to say, this would be comical if it wasn't serious. We already decapitated her. Her head's on the shelf. They took it off. Now it's walking dead, and it's disrespectful and offensive honesty. And my point too is I just want to thank you for the advice you gave me. Maybe like a couple years ago, you told me to get a government, and I'm in the process of just doing intel and taking care of that. So when the government's ready for Black empowerment, I'll have all the intel and information that we need. So I just wanted to say thank you for that advice that you gave me, brother, and be one.
Black first, brother. Thank you very much for giving us a call here tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 832. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
How you doing? My name is Reginald. I'm calling from Houston, Texas.
Reginald from Houston. What's on your mind?
I did not vote in the election with Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump because after Obama, I just realized that as a Black person, I don't have there's nothing for me to vote for. And it's all like a soap opera. I believe that these people are selected. There's no election because whoever the people want, ever did it, they don't get it. And I'm glad that Donald Trump will win again because I feel as if Donald Trump will be instrumental in the destruction of America. We just can't keep voting with the same system. It is not going to change. Everything has to be torn down and done away with us at the table when it's time to rebuild again. But other than that, man, I'm not going to vote. I'm just going to, because without this year, we damn it we do and damn it we don't. And as a Black person, whoever wins, I got to get up my behind and take care of myself either way it goes. Thank you, my brother.
Well, thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Please do give us a call again. Let me get caller from area code 720. Okay, I had caller from area code 720. Try again. Caller from area code 850. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, this is Demetrius from Tallahassee.
Demetrius from Tallahassee. What's on your mind?
Picking up with earlier female caller when she was talking about how politically confused we are. Paul Howard is running for DA in Atlanta, and he's losing by like 50 or 50-some thousand votes or whatever, however much. I'm not percentage-wise. I'm sorry. And we're on Twitter excited about Kamala Harris being an AKA and how much that's going to do for us. And that just, to me, illustrates more, like I said, what the caller earlier was stating as far as our the direction that we're looking at politically is off, because somebody locally who is trying to put charges on the police officer is not going to win his election, it's looking like. And we're happy about a quote unquote black female VP. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, to your point here, I mean, they're just reporting here about half an hour ago. I think that Fannie the Mammy Willis, who is mobbed up with police unions, crooked DAs, the white supremacist politicians. I mean, you got to understand the machine got behind her. The machine got behind her. But the other thing is, this needs to be a lesson to us to understand that we have really got to be on top of who's for us. But I will say one more thing. And it's very unfortunate about Paul Howard, but to our black politicians out there, y'all can't wait till the last minute or wait until an incident happens to be about that life. You got to be like Judge Olu Stevens. We got to have a year to be able to get behind you. We can't really just, you can't really just rush us at the last minute, because you know what they do with the voter cage and then playing with the vote and everything. So to the black politicians, y'all can't be coy about whose side you're on and wait till the fires are burning in the streets and then, okay, I'm gonna jump behind that. You got to do it from day one. You got to give us a long heads up, because we're a people who are skeptical of everybody. We done been burned too many times. We have run into too much difficulty. We run into too many Manchurian candidates, too many turncoats, too many backstabbers. So for our candidates out there, y'all got to run on a black agenda the last election, so that we know who we dealing with and we know we going for it. In his case here, he's a couple of months from re-election and doing the right things. I'm like, brother, we got to have, 8-10 months to get behind you. We're going to have 8-10 months, and we also need to know who the hell you running against. That's the other thing. So I'm not blaming them necessarily, but I am saying this to my black candidates in the future. Y'all got to give us every opportunity and every chance we can have to put as much momentum behind you as possible. Because I supported Paul Howard and Professor Black Truth and Tariq and other people. We've been out here for that, but I want to make sure for everybody, everybody, if you want to know how to run like Olu Stevens. We need to have a heads up from the beginning. We can't just hear about you later on. We got to know. But to an extent, and I'm going to say this right now, if you're a black politician in America and you want to win, you can go and run your ass off to go talk to Roland Martin if you want to. They ain't going to do jack slatesing for you. You need to come fool with the new black media. That's what you need to do. Y'all need to come talk to us. Y'all need to come talk to us. Y'all sit up here and act like we don't exist. And then we're sitting up here caping for you and running for you and everything else, but y'all treating us like we don't exist. And I have no ego to inflate or offend. What I'm saying is the people who will vote for you are listening to us. So y'all need to come fool with us, because y'all are sitting up here trying to be coy and, well, don't worry, they'll take care of, they'll get the word out and whatnot. No, y'all need to come and fool with us, man. Y'all really need to come fool with us. All of this playing like, oh, well, don't worry, they'll be able to sit up here and take care of that. No, it's really not. That's not going to work. That's just not going to work. So we're in a situation right now where, as black people, for our candidates and for ourselves, we as the proletariat, as the electorate, we got to do more to get behind the candidates who are really for us. But the candidates who are really about their life, you have an obligation too. You have an obligation to come and speak to your people. You have an obligation to come to us during the early days of the election and make it clear where you stand. Because otherwise you are allowing confusion to fester. You're allowing confusion. That's the problem we're having. You're allowing confusion to fester. And you allow it to spread, and then we're put in an incredible position where at the very last minute, we're cobbling together that kind of thing. So I'm saying a lot of y'all play coy about this. Keisha Bottoms ain't coy with the LGBT people. Keisha Bottoms is up front with them. Kamala Harris isn't coy with the Asian community and LGBT. She's up front with them. She talks to the ones on Twitter. She talks to the ones on Facebook. She talks to the ones on Instagram. She's with them. She lets them know, hey, I'm your candidate and I'm accessible. The rest of y'all got to do the same thing. We're gonna back you. But I'm sending this out to the politicians, to the so-called celebrities in days, and I want to say this tonight officially. So let me go ahead and make sure I put the right thing on your screen right now. I want to say this as an official communique from the Black Channel, from the high chair of the Black media. We're not giving passes to anybody else anymore. We used to say if you were a celebrity, well, you know, they don't always do the right thing and they got the right to do with their money whatever they want to. I want to say here tonight officially, damn that. You're either with us or you're against us. Your money either goes to serve the cause or you're the enemy. That's what it is. No more people ignoring us. No more people pretending we don't exist. No more people taking our talking points and acting as if we're some pirate radio station secluded out there in the middle of the Pacific Ocean somewhere. You're either with us or against us. You're either helping to row the boat or you're helping to sink it. And we're going to treat you accordingly, but you will no longer be treated as an island unto yourself. If your resources do not serve the people, then we will declare you enemies of the people. And that's what it's going to be. So going forward, the politicians, the celebrities, the entertainers, the athletes, all these folk who they intermittently acknowledge us and they dip through every once in a while and they play that little game, and when their ass is in a crack, then they want to call out for Black solidarity. Nah, to hell with that. To hell with that. Everybody, if you fool with us, you got to fool with us from day one. If you want our support, you got to support us from day one. You ain't gonna come parachuting in at the last minute and then, oh, they gonna back me. No, that day is over. I want you to understand from this microphone, that day is over. You are either with us or you're against us. It's just that simple. You're either promoting the cause or you are fighting against the cause. You're either with the people or an enemy of the people. That's what it's going to be. But if you're going to run for office, you can't be ashamed to claim us. Let me make that very clear. If you're running for office in America today and you want the Black vote, you can't be ashamed to claim the Black media. You can't be ashamed to be mobbed up with us. You can't be ashamed to promote the agenda. We say reparations, and we're out here stomping for reparations, and you acting like ain't nobody said reparations? We're sitting up talking about punishing race soldiers, and you talking about police reform without ever explaining what exactly police reform is. And when you talk about police reform, it doesn't have the punishment component. Hell no. We're not going to play that game where we sit up here and lead Black folk to believe that we're inferring that what you're saying is what we're saying, even though it isn't. Y'all are not saying the same thing that we're saying. And if you are going to be ashamed to claim us, if you are going to be too shy to claim us, if you are not willing to publicly claim us, let me make this very clear. We are not going to publicly claim you. But you're not going to play this smoke and mirrors. You either going to get with it and deal with the soil, and we're going to make a full court press, and we are all going to move in unison, or you're going to be out there by yourself. So when you get arrested, when you get hemmed up, don't mention my name. Don't call us. Don't call for black unity. I'm going to put the boots to your ass. If your money is going to support everybody except us, I'm putting the boots to you. That's what's going to happen. But to everybody, the candidates, the politicians, the celebrities, the athletes, the entertainers, the internet personalities, you're either walking with us or you're getting walked over by us. So that's going to be your position in the system. Thank you very much for giving us a call tonight. Let me get a caller from area code 786. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yeah, Jason, how's it going, man? This Bailey calling from 305 Miami, Florida.
Bailey calling from Miami.
Jason,
what's on
two
your
things
mind?
real quick, man. Two things real quick, man. I think black people, we're notorious for voting in presidential elections, thinking that it's about the image of a person, where in reality, the local elections is what really can make a difference in our lives on a daily basis. And number two, Jason, I just kind of like, it was just logged in, was listening to you. I don't know if anyone been talking about this debate with Joe Biden when she kind of like brought Joe Biden down on the busing situation. But from what I understand, her mother wanted her to go to those white schools because she really didn't want Kamala in school with black kids, because she felt like Kamala wasn't going to get a good education. So she really wanted her daughter to go to those white schools, but Kamala used it as a way to say, well, you know, you bust us over here, you bust us over there. And I just wanted you to expound upon that a little bit also. Thanks for letting me call. Appreciate it, Jason.
You can tell a tree by the fruit it bears. It doesn't really need a lot of explanation. Thank you for giving us a call. Take a look at the person she is. Take a look at who she married. Take a look at the folks she's mobbed up with. Take a look at the fact that she ran as an Asian American. Her father was not the dominant influence in her life. Her mother is. She sees herself as an Indian. And she only claims blackness for political purposes, but she sees herself as an Indian. And that's the real thing that you need to understand. We have to stop playing this game where we let people sit up here and play us like that. Those days are drawing to an end, but they're not going to go quietly. Caller from area code 773. You're on live with the Black Channel. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Eddie, calling from Chicago, Illinois.
Okay, you said your name was Zeddy?
No, Eddie.
Eddie, what's on your mind,
Chicago,
Eddie?
Illinois. What's on my mind? I hope black people don't fall for this trick bag of Kamala Harris. Come on, we got to be smarter than that. She is not for us. She never was for us, and she the police. Can't fall for Kamala. We got to be smarter, man. We can't let this, oh, she look like us. Man, go out there and vote for her, man. Hey, we already saw that with Obama. Do not do that. Please, black people. Whoever listening around the country, do not vote for Kamala Harris. She not for us. And on top of that, we know they next phase if this don't work out. They are going to get a young white guy to come out there to act like he part of the community. He know us and all that. Don't fall for that neither. That's bull crap. So don't fall for that, people.
Well, definitely thank you very much for giving us a
Jason.
call tonight. Please do give us a call again. Who is Kamala Harris? Where does she stand? What is it about? What is she for? Just want to remind you all, if you all have never seen this photograph, it's from the LA Times. I'll let you just look at that for a moment. I'll let you just look at that for a moment. By the way, just wanted you to understand. And by the way, there are other pictures. There are other similar pictures. For those of you who never saw it, there are other similar pictures. For those of you who never saw it, I just wanted you to be aware. If you want to know the house they were raised in. I believe that's the grandfather in the picture. If you want to know the house that they were raised in, if you want to know what was really going on, and if you want to know the house they were raised in, if you want to know the environment she's comfortable in, if you want to know what she identifies as, I want to see her sorority sisters come out and defend this. But let me go ahead and put in a word right quick for you damn bedwinching, professional bedwinching sorority sisters. I'm aiming this directly at nigresses like you, Monique Presley. You dark-skinned black females idolize the mixed chicks. I say that. White folk know it. They've always known it because they're the ones who engineered it and set it up. You dark-skinned black females or darker-skinned black females, y'all idolize these mixed chicks in these sororities, in these boule circles, in these fraternities. Y'all idolize them light-skinned hoes. Y'all idolize those mixed hoes. You wish you could be them. That's why you schmoozy up to them and hug up to them so damn much. It's no secret. You all know from the very earliest days, Jack and Jill and all the rest of them. Y'all know it from the earliest days. That's what it's always, the chicks who ran the yard were always the light-skinned ones, the ones that could pass for white or something else. And the darker-skinned ones submit to them. So you get so-called black organizations, but your leader, whoever the light-skinned person is, winds up being the damn leader. Whoever the light-skinned person is winds up walking y'all like a dog. So you sorority chicks, you know, we're sitting up here as black people saying, we're looking at you funny style, Kamala. We're looking at your funny style because of some of this stuff we've been seeing. It look a little bit funny to us here. We're trying to figure out what's really going on. You looking kind of funny style. But to these sorors, yes, the Lynx and Jack and Jill and the Boule and the Association of Negro Women and so on and so forth, the AKs, all them damn sororities. Can we just keep it real? All those sororities are basically little fiefdoms and kingdoms for light-skinned chicks where they flex on the dark-skinned ones. Oh, can I say that? Can I say that? Can I go ahead and say that? Oh, I'm airing the dirty laundry. I can't say that? Oh, I'm all right. Okay. I'm airing the dirty laundry. Them sororities, let me say it again. Them sororities are where the light-skinned hoes flex on the dark-skinned ones. That's where the light-skinned hoes let you know I can take your man. See, that's when they compete with each other for who can sleep with your man. See, because that's how females fight. Females fight by seducing your man, by getting your man to choose her over you. So Kamala Harris is an old pro at getting dark-skinned niggas. Oh, did I say Willie Brown? Getting dark-skinned niggas to submit to her. She's an old pro at hustling them draws to get what she wants. She's an old pro at that. She's been getting dark-skinned black females to submit to her mixed ass since she was born. She knows how to work that. And dark-skinned chicks like Monique Presley ain't smart enough to go ahead and say, nah, at least I should be, if one of us is going to be the black female leading, it should be the darker one. But you dark-skinned chicks in these sororities and these little groups and civic organizations or in politics, y'all submit to the dark-skinned females. Y'all wish you could be them. Can we just be plain about that? Y'all envy Kamala Harris, and Joe Biden and the Democrats know it. They know that colorism is a dysfunctional thing in black society. That's why you don't get white folk talking about colorism. They'll talk about everything except colorism. They don't want to talk about that because colorism is a white construct deliberately created for the purposes of destabilizing black people. So white folk don't mention it. They act like it doesn't exist, but they enjoy the benefits of the havoc that it wreaks. So Kamala Harris has been trained in the dark arts of colorism. Oh, did I say it like that? I said it like that. Kamala Harris has been trained from a young age in the mystical dark arts of colorism, knowing how to seduce black men, knowing how to seduce dark-skinned black men, knowing how to submit darker-skinned black women. You get your degrees, you get your education, you wear your hair a certain way, you learn how to speak their slang and their dialect, but you speak it in a way that you are over them. You just need to understand it, but you also make it clear that you're not one of them, because that distinction between the two of you, you occupy a ground that they can't. You see, these other chicks just wish they were mixed and sound freaking insane and mentally deranged saying it. Nicki Minaj and all the rest of them, I'm Cape Verdean and I'm Dominican and I'm Irish. Kamala Harris is the real damn thing. Kamala Harris isn't a wannabe mixed chick. Kamala Harris is the real damn thing. And you can run your mouth all you damn well want to, Monique Presley, Jamel Hill, April, whatever the hell the round rotund chick is at the Washington Press Corps. Y'all can run your mouths all you damn well want to. Kamala Harris is the real damn deal. And when she shows up, y'all hoes bow down. And that goes for Beyonce. Oh, am I dragging everybody tonight? I guess I'm just dragging everybody. I'm just gonna drag them like my dog. Beyonce, whenever she's in a video, you notice she the light-skinned chick, they always got dark-skinned black females dancing behind her. You know why? Because Matthew Knowles educated both of his daughters in the dark arts of submitting dark-skinned black females in colorism. Oh, can I say it like that? Matthew Knowles taught his daughter, and Tina Knowles taught her daughters. Oh, y'all better than them. You came from between my light-skinned legs. Y'all better than them. Oh, they have all been trained and have been students of colorism since they were born. Everywhere you go, the light-skinned chick is putting a saddle on the backs of the dark-skinned chicks and riding them dumb heifers around like Shetland ponies. And to this day, as you can see in this picture, they are still eagerly submitting to the light-skinned females. See, y'all are growing up not knowing that Kamala is old, has been doing this longer than most of us have been alive, myself included. She's been doing this longer than most of us have been alive, myself included. She has been breaking dark-skinned females probably longer than I've been alive. Based on her age, she's been doing it longer than I've been alive. They start by the time they're children in elementary school. You got to train your daughters young to flex on dark-skinned chicks. You got to train your daughters young that as light-skinned mixed females, you are a minority. My mixed chicks, by the way, I ain't saying nothing out of turn. My mixed females, you know I'm telling the damn truth. I done talked to enough of you, dated enough of you, met enough of you. Everybody, every black male listening knows I'm telling the damn truth. And all the black women, you know I'm telling the truth right now. You know it. That's the get down in the homes of these mixed females. That's the get down. Now, I'm not saying that you'll adopt it for life, but you know full damn well that either your mama or your daddy, whoever was the non-black person, and probably the black parent too, taught you that you can flex on dark-skinned people. Now, you're a minority, so how you flex on them's got to be different because they've got the numbers, but you've got the light skin. So you have to be smart in the way in which you flex it. You can't get into fist fights with them because they're rougher than you are and there's more of them. So the way in which you flex on them, you have to take status. And light-skinned females learn that they get status by getting the males behind them. So when light-skinned females are young, they don't go schmooze up to the females. They go schmooze up to the men. They go schmooze up to the boys. They go get cozy with the males. For two reasons. Number one, because she can beat the other females and get in the males. Number two, the males will give her physical protection. Did you feel me on that? Am I explaining every damn thing to y'all? Am I putting it in 720 degrees, 10 tons of the analysis you'll receive nowhere else? Light-skinned chicks get booed up with black males, and particularly dark-skinned black males, because the darker you are, the more alpha that people consider you. Oh, I said it. Oh, I said it. As a dark-skinned black male, can I just keep it 100 with you? Light-skinned females love to get booed up with a dark-skinned black male because we are perceived and acknowledged as the alpha. And the darker he is, the more alpha that people take him to be. Oh, did I say it? I said it. And I'll repeat it. Or you can play it back. I ain't slipping a lip. I didn't stutter when I said it. There's a reason that you see so many dark-skinned females light-skinned females chasing dark-skinned men. Because that's her protection from the darker-skinned females. Y'all can go down the damn list. You right. Y'all naming names in the chat room. You damn right. Terry Crews. Oh, wait a minute. Did I say it? Does that even apply to the coons? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It even applies to the coons. Even Terry Crews got a light-skinned female who, when we told the world what a punk he was, he let some little gay white dude wiggle his giblets. His light-skinned female came out trying to tell us what an alpha he was. Dr. Dre, Emmett Smith, we can go down the list. We can go down the list. I ain't gonna do it. We can go down the list. I ain't gonna do it. But light-skinned females, that's the practice. And once they've gotten protection, then they move on. Then they move on. And then they go get what they really want. Somebody with power, wealth, and influence. My dark-skinned black females in the room, my black women in the room, you know I'm holding church. Am I lying about a word I'm saying? Y'all tell me. Am I telling tales or am I testifying? Am I telling tales or am I testifying? Is this what really goes down? Any group, any black females who have had to have a glee club, being on the cheerleading squad, if all of y'all are dark skinned and there's one light skin, that chick is gonna flex. She is gonna flex, and she's gonna flex by the primary tool they use is, well, the males, I appeal to them more. They desire me more than the rest of you. And then y'all are like, damn, she's got so much pull with the fellas. I want to get the game she got. Y'all end up incidentally submitting to her. And Kamala Harris been flexing with the males for decades. And all these dark-skinned chicks get next to her and they just happy to